Okay, it is Sunday. I have done all my chores today. Mowed the lawn, do the yada yada, do the thing. Went to band rehearsal, which was good. Really good rehearsal today. So now we are back home, ready to work on the truck some more. I've already pre-bent. I'm doing the transmission cooler and the transmission lines today. This is how far I've gotten. I got both these Silverado coolers coupled together with this piece of angle iron. I made one line that goes from here over to here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come from the transmission to the stock radiator. Out of the stock radiator into here. It's going to come out of here into the second one, and this is going to go back to the transmission. That's what we're attempting to do. From here to the radiator and from here to the back of the car, there's going to be a little bit of transmission cooler hoses that are going to be put to the hard transmission steel lines. So I'm going to bend up some stuff and I'll show you my progress as soon as I'm done. So I bent this piece here, and it goes like up through here to here, and then let me come down here, and it comes under here. Okay, so it comes down, it comes under, goes there. But we're going to be putting a piece of hose on this end so it has a little bit of a flex, you know, and then we'll put another piece of steel line into the radiator. So there's going to be a little piece that goes between here. What I'm going to be using is this tool. It's the company's called SUR&R.
She also has a rover sitter for her
What happens here is you dial what size metal line you got. You zero it out first with this one here, flat to these dies, and then you pick out which die you're going to use. If it's 3/8 or 5/16, 1/4 inch, 3/16, you put it in over here and you pull that handle and it does it in 2 seconds. It's the best flaring tool I've ever seen or ever used or ever owned. It's super fast. Being a flat rate technician, it works great. So I'm going to put you on a tripod and I'm going to show you how it works. So I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, so we don't want to go full double flare with this. We just want to go the first part, so we put a bump in it. A little, so when I put the hose on, I have something to clamp to so it won't slide off once I put a clamp there. So this goes in like this. Put this in like this. You put it in loosely. Flip that up, and you just put just a little bit of pressure on it. Nothing crazy. Just a little pressure just to hold it there. Then you put this part, the flat here, you put that, you select that as your thing and you give it a little pull like that. Now it's zeroed out and it's flat against your dies. Now you tighten this up. Now I'm going to go to 3H option 1 and I'm just going to put just a little bump in it. So just give it a little pull. Like that. Here, let's take a look. Yeah, quick release there. That's perfect. Here, let me show you. Perfect. So now a hose can slide on that. You put your hose clamp on, it'll never go by it. It'll never let it slip by. Okay. I'm going to pause for a minute and go on the next line. Okay, so here's our next piece that we're doing. It's going to come out of the radiator. Out of the radiator to our left cooler. I got to put a special crimp, or a not a crimp, but a flare for these coolers, the GM coolers, for the quick connects to work. So I got this tool here. So I've been hot and cold with this tool all day. Some of them have worked perfect, some of them have not. So we're going to try it again. So you put it in, kind of works the same way as the flaring tool, as that bench flaring tool. Has the same type of fixture dies, holding dies, but everything else is kind of different. This is hydraulic, so basically you get it flat with your die, then you choose whatever flare you're making. You have a bunch of these dies that go in here. You can do brake lines, fuel filter, flares, everything. Okay, so now you thread this in until it stops. When it stops, make sure your valve is shut, and you pump on this.
You never forget your first race, and you never back down from the next.
Okay,
You're the
that. You release your pressure, then reclose it, and thread it out.
and advanced mobility, all backed by the unconditional
All right.
satisfaction guarantee. Dickies Flex, engineered to
Now.
move. Learn more at dickies.com.
And that is perfect.
10 nuggets just $1. Crazy, right? Crazy crispy, crazy juicy. 10 nuggets
That's
make
perfect.
crazy delicious white meat for just
Okay,
$1.
I'll show you.
That's a crazy deal. Enjoy
Put that
10
down.
nuggets for just
Come over
$1.
here.
Only
I can show you.
Wireless for $15 a month. That's not right.
It's right, all right.
And that's a perfect
That's not right.
transmission cooler line quick connect flare. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pause you for a minute. I gotta cut this and put a bump with the bench mount, and then I'll put our hose in, and then I'll get our my clamp tight tool, and I'll show you how that works. Let me pause you for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little metal line rubber hose trick that a lot of people don't know. Like gas neck filler necks, they get stuck, or fuel lines, or anything, even turbo silicones. They're hard to push on because they're sticky. Well, you need something that's gonna lubricate them, and then you're gonna need something that's gonna dry, and dry so they won't stay off. You can't use WD-40 because WD-40 stays oily, and you'll lose turbocharger silicones, high pressure fuel lines will blow off. What you use is carburetor cleaner. It works fantastic. I'm going to show you right now. Pushing this on, it's hard. I can only go about 1/4 inch, and then I'm fighting with it. If you take a little bit of carburetor cleaner, don't spray it in the hose, but you can. But I spray it on the metal line, just a little bit,
There are two different trains of thought on
and boom, it slides right on, and then it'll dry to the touch. There's nothing, there's nothing there. See?
When you brought me the card,
And it's locked right on. It's tight. So there's a tech tip for you. Okay. So here is my first line. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is my second line. The first line went from cooler to cooler. Okay, so this comes out of the middle port of the left cooler. And so what's happening is it's going to come from the transmission to the stock radiator, out of the stock radiator, through this pipe into the left cooler, middle port. It's going to go through that cooler, then out of that cooler to your right cooler, middle port, then out of the right
suspension upgrade, disc brake
port
package,
on the right cooler, right port out, and then back to the training. So this is line number 2 that I've built. Okay, so I'm going to do the clamps on this, the wire style clamps. I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to get you up and close to the up with the camera over there. It's a company called Clamp Tight, and it's an amazing tool. It's an amazing tool. So I'm going to pause you and I'll get you in on that one.
Just because I configured this car online doesn't mean
Okay,
it exists at a
so
dealership.
let me slide on over here.
Real pricing on actual
Here's
cars.
our hose,
I see what others paid for them.
and
They show me the ones that match the car I want.
here's our
So I
clamp
know I
tight
can go to a
tool.
true car certified
Seen this
dealer.
on
They'll
TV.
be right there waiting for me.
Let me turn this down a little
Right
bit.
now. This is True Car.
Okay, so I seen this on TV on Velocity one Sunday morning. So I searched for it on Amazon, and I found one, but it came with this. There was one had a T-handle, like looked like this, and it was like 50 or 60 bucks. And then this one, which came with a wing nut, was like $20. So I bought this one, and I just made a big T-handle for it, and it works phenomenal. I put a lock nut on the end so this doesn't come all the way off, because that's the problem I have with the wing nut. It would always fall off. So, alright, so this is how it works. You zero this all the way down, so it's all the way down. Okay? Put that off the rack, you don't need it right this second. You need a pair of wire cutters. They supply you with a wire nut so you don't lose an eyeball. And you need mechanics wire, like this. Okay, so what I usually do is I get it, that part that you kind of mold around, hold it so it don't come unwind, I just get rid of it. And I take out, I go about 16 inches or so, right around there. Okay, now take this and you fold it pretty much in half. What I do is I kind of put these together like that, and you put your wing nut on so it holds it. Now you know you're even down on this end. So you fold this down kind of like that. Okay, and you want to make sure your wires stay straight, pretty much straight, you know what I mean? So that looks good, just like that. And you take it, and you go through like this. Oh, slip through. You go through like this, and you pull up on it like that. Okay. Leave a little high amount because you're going to go through again. Now I like to spread these apart like that. This makes it easy to keep everything straight. Okay, and you feed this through again, like that. Pull it up in. Now, get in there. There we go. Now you get that all like kind of like that. Okay. So it looks kind of uniform, but we're gonna, once we get a little, use this tool and get it tight and get this wire a little tighter, secured on here, a little snug, then we're gonna straighten these out. So now, what you do, you take your two ends, get rid of your wire nut now, take your wire nut off, you take your tool, and you put it like this, okay? Now that tip goes on your hoop part of the wire. You take this, and you wrap it around here. I usually go twice. Take this one, 1, 2. Then you do a twisty tie like this. Okay? Now you're good. Now you start tightening this up
Steve's troubleshooting the 302
until you
and
get to
C28.
your
I'm curious to see what
your
this
hoop
new
up here.
has in store for us. What have you found so far?
Okay, now you're touching. And you just keep on twisting.
I mean, you can almost stick your finger underneath the rocker and the valve.
Okay. Now what I do is I straighten all my wire out.
See, the push rod is up
So I just need a little
and I've still got that much push.
something or other. Screwdriver will work if I can find one.
Could we have
A pick works good too.
just a bad adjustment?
Well, judging by how much stuff you got
Straighten
in
these
the
out.
boxes here, I'm gonna try
That
to do it
under here, that looks pretty good, all straight.
and then if it starts getting loud again, then stubs it pull.
Right here is a little weirdness.
All but one.
There we go.
Four of them are right there.
Right here, a little weirdness. Now,
This is in order.
if you got all the wires straight, you just start cranking.
Number 2 looks good. It's the only one.
Start cranking.
4, 6,
Tightening
and
it down, and you can start to feel resistance because now it's putting some pressure on that wire. Rule of thumb is you kind of want to get the wire level with the hose.
Are you doing a
That's how tight you want it.
Yeah. Get the cold setting.
Now it's putting some clamping force down on that now. And that's good. That's real good. So now when you get to there, that point, you take your tool.
Denny's replacing the plugs and dialing in that.
Let me get this out of the way so I can do the procedure.
Everything is just
Take your tool
factory 11
and you
plugs
fold it over
and loaded.
like this. Pew.
The next step is
All right.
compression test
You see what happened there?
cylinder for variance.
Now, I loosen up on the tool
So we're just gonna go straight back.
and I untwisty tie it.
Okay. 155.
And pull your two wires off, take your tool right out of there.
Consistently. It got there and just stayed there. Now, 155.
Now, what I do,
Pretty amazing number. That actually comes fairly close to 14.
let's put it back in the vise here.
Pressure times 11 to 1.
Now,
We're knocking on
you cut these back
All right.
just short of 1/4 of an inch.
160.
Just short of 1/4 of an inch. So, right around,
Okay.
oh, right around, come on,
And
get there. Right there, down.
162. So I'm still getting a little disbothered.
Here, let me do it like this, a lot easier.
This thing should be ripping
You push those down in there.
and it's fairly even teasing. You know what I mean?
Ah, like that. So now you have no sharp edge,
The rings and valves are all seated.
and there's no way that's coming off of there. No way.
Really make any sense. Our average
See?
is right at 152. So why is it running?
Badass. That's the best clamp you could ever use right there. Amazing. Anyway, there you go. That's how you use the tool.
Every day.
I think they are somewhere.
Okay, I just want to re-record just the part a little closer so you can see what's going on here.
328 cam.
So,
Yep, that's what came out of it.
what's happening is that this part of the wire, let me get a, where's my spec?
Then there's no
This
matter
part
what
of the
way.
wire, the tool is pushing this way.
We should see something different here, Steve.
This part of the tool is yanking the wire that way. So it's
Somebody jacked that motor up.
taking advantage, it's a mechanical advantage of it. It's getting it tighter and tighter. It's pulling it in two different directions to tighten it.
And that's not a slot V20.
So I'm going to show you that action right now.
Camshaft and 11-to-1 compression motor
So
can
now
make all the
it's
difference,
pulling,
especially when the valves, rockers, and
and
lifters
it's
weren't even properly set up
it's
and
pushing
installed.
and it's pulling.
I'm actually surprised this thing ran at
So
all.
I'm twisting and I'm twisting and I'm twisting and I'm twisting,
And actually
and I'm almost smooth now.
should be good to go.
A little bit more.
Behind me is stacked Z28 cam.
Now I'm smooth. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the tool
Before I installed them,
and I'm going to make it tighter by rolling it over like that.
blue carpet, like the original carpet back in 1960.
Now
The kit we got
we
is
could
18-piece
take
kit,
this
so
off
it's a little bit more involved, but finished job.
and loosen up the tool.
All right, Aaron, let's get these seats in the car to see how they fit.
Take it right on out of there.
I'm gonna get Aaron. He's gonna help me install the seats. He's got the smaller hands and the tight
See?
spots, so he comes in handy.
That's outright amazing. Okay, so now that we're there, let me
There you go. As far as the green
put
part,
this in the vise.
what we're doing is trying to keep it
There.
to the way they did it in 1960.
We're going to cut these back
This is a nice car, but these seats
just
are
shy of 1/4
like
inch.
glove. Everything turned out pretty good.
there, and right
The engine for the 64 vet is back from Todd's, now with numbers matching high
there.
performance heads.
Okay.
And that should mean we can finally
We
move
take the
forward
two
with this
pieces
build.
that we cut, and we're going to push them down into the rubber.
A cracked exhaust
Like that. And like that. So you can't get caught on it. You know what I mean? I push them down really, really far.
You know, it just sucks.
So it's smooth to the touch. And there we go. That's perfect. We got a little weird here, but that don't mean nothing. But that's how they work. And then that won't spin. It won't pull apart. It won't. There's no way this hose is getting by that bump with that on there. So I'm gonna pause you. Okay, so here we go. There's the two coolers. The only last thing I have to do here is put four J-clips on the coolers themselves and put bolts in to hold them to this aluminum. So we are done with the coolers part. Now I'm going to bring it down and show you underneath. Here's how they come out of the coolers. Can't really see that good. But here are the lines. They come out and they go. One is right here, comes down, and it goes into the radiator. And then this one comes down, and this one's the one that's going to be going. Sorry, I don't mean to be lens flaring you. This is going to be going to the tranny, and the tranny is going to come into right here. Gonna come into here, through the radiator, out of the radiator, up into the left cooler, out of the left cooler, into the right cooler, out of the right cooler, right here, and back to the tranny. So, sorry, it's terrible filming under here, but okay, so that's the coolers video taken care of. I'm just gonna put those 4 bolts in, and we're gonna be done. Then we're gonna place our intercooler in, put our tubing in, and then that's gonna be done. So let's do it. So I'm gonna pause for a minute, get set up, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so we got our 4 bolts in our coolers, nice and rigid, doesn't hit the radiator. We got a good 1/4 inch there, and it's gonna have to move quite a lot to hit it, and I don't see that happening. Now that this is rigid, we're gonna slop our intercooler in there. So, there goes our intercooler for the turbo. That drops in like that, with 2 mounts on the bottom. We have 2 L brackets that go here. The wiring's gonna come down like that. So, now we got that like that.
Now that all the rust and structural damage is repaired, Irving can finally install that numbers matching
Turbo output. Get this dipstick out of the way. Turbo output. So, let me pause you while I put these hoses on, and I'll bring you to our next step.